I don't do anything specifically to condition my hands or to, I mean, I think that my hands are just a byproduct of 20 years spent climbing. I think that if you spend your whole life training to hold on to small edges and hold on to the side of a cliff, you know, you wind up with big, strong hands. It's just one of those things. There are a couple ways that climbers can systematically train their fingers to be strong enough to hang on the side of a cliff. One of them is called hangboarding, and it just basically means hanging off a small piece of wood by your fingertips, basically doing pull-ups with the tips of your fingers in order to strengthen your forearms. In 2008, I free soloed Half Dome in Yosemite, which is a 600-meter wall, and at the time it was one of the biggest and hardest free solos ever done. And I hadn't prepared very much for it. I kind of went up there intending to have an adventure, and it turned out to be pretty difficult, and I wound up getting very scared, and thankfully managed to persevere, but it was all you know, a bit of a trial. Getting scared on Half Dome wasn't fundamentally different than many other experiences I've had getting very scared on other free solos. I mean, basically there have just been a lot of climbs in my life that have been difficult or challenging in whatever way where I've gotten really scared. And you know, and obviously a lot of experiences where I worry that I could potentially die if I make a mistake, things like that. I mean, that's kind of the nature of being a climber, is that occasionally you have experiences that are scary. There's an almost limitless amount of climbing in the world. Most of which I'd like to try at some point. I mean, there are many places I'd like to go on expeditions. Like, for example, this summer I might go to the Karakoram in Pakistan to climb big granite walls at higher altitude. But we'll see. I mean, basically there are virtually limitless number of climbing challenges in the world, but I don't know if any of them will ever mean quite as much to me as the idea of free soloing all cap did. I don't know, so I found out that the film was nominated for an Oscar a couple days ago. And it was cool, and we all celebrated. I called the filmmakers, and everyone's really happy. I mean, I think that for me, an Oscar nomination doesn't mean quite as much as it does for the filmmakers, just because I didn't make the film. You know, for me, the goal was always to free solo all cap, and that's something that I was able to do after a lot of work, and I'm very proud of that. But you know, being recognized by the Academy doesn't really change the actual climb that I did. Whereas I think for the filmmakers, being recognized by the Academy means a lot more, because those are their peers, you know, they're the people that they look up to. But, you know, I'm not a filmmaker, like I don't really care about the Academy, with all respect to the Academy.